Hello students, welcome to Power Tutorials. So today, as mentioned yesterday, we are going to cover all physics questions of science class 10 CBSE board, and the set we are going to solve is 31/3/2 set. Okay, in the previous videos I already covered all maths questions of 30/3, one of the set, 13th set, 30/3/1, I guess. So just check if you want to get the solution of maths question paper including all the questions. Okay, and today we are going to start with for science. All the MCQ, that is one more questions for physics, chemistry and biology, our questions are solved, and today we are going to cover all physics questions. Okay, not only one mark, we are going to cover all physics questions in detail. So let's start with the video. So whoever are joining new to this channel or seeing my video for the first time, so myself, Power Tutorials channel, and in this channel I'm explaining maths and science topics which are related to CBSE class 10, and also few videos I also covered related to Telangana as well as AP SSC board as well. Okay, so if you are coming from Telangana state board or AP SSC, you can also refer those videos in my channel. You can find few in live section, few in live videos, and in the MCQ, that is community post section. So daily I'm keeping 2 MCQs, one is from maths and one is from science. So if you are interested to solve MCQ questions, you can check the community section. Okay, so I'll just give a small recap on how I solved all the MCQ questions. Starting with biology, I have solved, explained the 9 questions which are there in biology, each and everything. So not only the answers, my agenda is also to cover the questions in detail. So if you want to attempt the betterment exam which is happening in May, this should be useful. Okay, so this is the answer key for biology MCQs, and then I have made separate video on chemistry and physics MCQs, because altogether I think around 11 are there. So these are the answer key for chemistry and physics MCQs. Chemistry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 MCQs are there, and for physics we have 3 MCQs. So this is the answer key for 31/3/2 set. Okay, so as mentioned, now I'm going to start with physics all questions. So as this video is for physics all questions, so I'll just give a small recap of the 3 physics MCQs, and then we'll go with the next questions. So the first one is the 30th question. Observe the given ray diagram showing reflection through a prism. Choose the correct options for the colors of rays 1 and 2. So 1 is the least deviated and the 2 is the most deviated. So the most deviated will have the low speed, so which is the bandwidth is high. So for that we have the color which is Vibgyor, that is violet, and the least deviated is the one which is red. So the answer is first is red and the second is violet. Okay, and the second question, the electrical circuit current 2 ohm resistor is replaced by 8 ohms resistor. What will be the changing with respect to ideal battery? So ideal battery they mentioned, so the voltage will not change, so potential difference remains same, whereas the current we need to use Ohm's law. And here I have explained with respect to Ohm's law what will happen. Ohm's law states that V is equal to IR. So if resistance is now become 8, then I becomes V by R, which is V by 8. So V by 2 becomes V by 8. So current becomes I 1 by 4th of the previous value. Okay, and then we have one necessities in question. They are saying the needle of a compass kept in external magnetic field always aligns itself north and south direction of Earth. The answer is false, because needle will, if any external field is dominating Earth's magnetic field, then needle will follow the recent, that is the nearest magnetic field, not follow the Earth's magnetic field. Okay, the behavior of needle of the compass is similar to the behavior of freely suspended magnet. Yes, correct. This point is important. Freely suspended. So if it is freely suspended, the compass is follow the natural magnetic field of Earth, but if it is closer to anything, then it will change. Okay, so first is false, the second is true, the answer is D, where reason is correct and assertion is false. Okay, now we are moving to the next questions of physics, starting from 33rd. So few theoretical questions I have already written, so I don't want to waste some time by writing all the answer in the live video. So if it is theoretical, few theoretical questions I have already written in with my pen, so those I will explain in this video directly. Okay, this is the first one. 33rd question, attempt either A or B. So make sure to check which is better for you, which is A or B, which is much confident, and then you can solve it. Okay, so in this video I'm going to explain in detail for each and everything. Okay, so what is the A part? What happens when light is scattered from very fine particles and light is scattered from very large particles of a medium? Just for your answers in each case. Okay, so for very fine particles, what will happen is light ray will scatter, but external spot will undergo Rayleigh's scattering. So this I have underlined because the invigilator or the examiner will also think for a keywords. So Rayleigh's scattering is a keyword here, and this scatters shorter wavelengths effectively than larger wavelengths. So this point is important. It follows Rayleigh scattering. If you have written, then yes. And the second thing is it should scatter shorter wavelength more than larger wavelengths. Okay, hence the example also you can written, it is the blue color of sky, because blue wavelength is shorter, so that will scatter more. Next, very large particles. When scattering of particles are very much larger than the wavelength of light, then all scattering will happen equally. So then it also follows me scattering. Whereas for Rayleigh scattering is for small particles. If it is a larger particles, it is me scattering. Me scattering says it. If for larger particles, then all the colors will scatter equally. Okay, so that's why the light color appears white, because all the colors are scattered equally. So which is no color is dominant. Hence we can see the tube lights or any light colors. It is exactly white color. Okay. What about B part? B part, what is the question? Okay, screenshot I missed, I guess. Okay, screenshot I missed. So but the question is they're asking about formation of spectrum, how it is happening. Okay, so what is formation of spectrum? Spectrum is nothing but the rainbow, which is natural spectrum. So how it is happening means the rainbow is a natural spectrum appearing in the sun after rain is caused by dispersion of sunlight by tiny water droplets. Okay, so how it is, the main part is it happens to the dispersion of sunlight by tiny water droplets, but as I have asked in detail, so it follows 3 steps. First one, refraction and dispersion. So you already know that raindrop is almost in spherical shape. So when sunlight falls on it, so what will happen, the medium 1 is air and medium 2 is inside water droplet. Okay, so as the medium is changing, the light ray will refract means it will bend. So while it is bending, it has 7 colors inside it, and each color has a different wavelength. So all these will get dispersed, and they will get like similar thing which you have explained in prism. So when light ray passes through prism, it will refract in different ways, because all colors of a light has different wavelengths. Same way here the sunlight is also white in color. So when the sunlight falls on the water droplet, it disperses into 7 colors, and those will bend depends upon its wavelength. Okay, you can see here different colors bend at different angles, causing spectrum. So then what will happen, internal reflection. This light ray hits back of the droplet and reflects internally. So this beam of light rays will fall on this surface, and this will get refracted. It's not reflected, it's reflected. Okay, once again this reflection, from the bubble, it has to come out. Then again what will happen, again refraction happens, because from bubble, now this is medium 1 and this is medium 2, from water bubble this beam of rays has to come out. Okay, so as the light rays leaves the droplets in the air, it refracts further, spreading the colors to reach the eye. Now this got much refraction. Single light becomes small diffraction, and then it becomes multiple larger refraction, so that it will be visible clearly to our eye. So this is the actual phenomena happens for natural spectrum, which is rainbow. Okay, let's move to this 34th question. Read the following ray diagrams in your answer book and show the path of reflected or refracted rays. Okay, so for this I will solve it now. First one is the concave mirror. You can also write it. It's a concave mirror. So this is the curve. This is the principal axis. So what we have C, we have F. C is central of curvature, F is focus. How the light ray is passing? Light ray is passing parallel to the mirror. When light ray is passing parallel to the mirror, what will happen? Its reflection will pass through the focus. You can also see reflection or reflected ray will pass through focus. Okay, second one, we have concave lens, and they're asking how it will refract. Because it is a lens, so it will refract. It will not reflect, it will refract. Second is concave lens. So let's first draw concave lens. This is principal axis. Okay, and then how the letter is passing, it is also parallel to principal axis. F1 to F1. So if a light is passing through principal axis, parallel to principal axis, what will happen? It will refract such that it is passing through the focus. Okay, so concave lens are diverging lens. Okay, we can say that light ray will refract such that it is passing through focus. So this point is important. You have to mention it is concave lens, and then you have to say that light ray will refract such that it is passing through focus. And you can also say these are diverging lens. Concave lens are diverging lens, whereas convex lens are converging lens. Okay, let's move to the next one. Name a device that is used to maintain constant potential difference in the circuit. So the first one answer is battery or cell. So example is every or the Duracell batteries, they maintain constant voltage. Okay, change the current, electric current in an electric circuit. To change the electric current in a circuit, you have to use rheostat, or you can also say it as variable resistor. So battery or cell, you can also use the symbol. It is something like this, or so this is single cell, it is a series of cells, you call it as battery. Okay, so here it is positive, negative, and this is positive and this is negative. What about rheostat symbol? Rheostat symbol is something like this. We have a resistor and then top we have it, and we also have a second diagram which is something like this. Both are proper diagrams. So always make sure to write an extra information so that the invigilator will feel that yes, you know much detail, and they will give you full marks. Okay, but if you write battery and cell and rheostat and variable, definitely you will get half of mark, because this is a 3 marks question. So this will carry 1 mark and this will carry 2 marks, and between this we have a half of mark. Okay, let's see the second B part. What they are saying, when the potential difference they're saying when the potential difference between the terminals of electric heater is 110. So we have a electric heater, so I'll just write it as heater. Okay, and the potential difference between this point and the electric heater is much 110 volts. Then the current flowing through this circuit is how much? 5 amperes. Okay, case 2, what will be the value of current flowing through it when the potential difference increases to 220 volts? Now the potential difference, again I will write the heater. Now the potential difference has been increased to 220 volts. They are asking current value. So if you notice, the heater is same in both the conditions, so the resistance of the heater will remain same. So using Ohm's law, Ohm's law states as voltage is equal to IR. So R of heater is equal to voltage of heater by current of heater. So voltage of heater, they mentioned in the first case 110 volts by current of heater is 5. So resistance of heater is 22 ohms. Okay, this is case 1 and this is case 2. In case 2, the resistance will remain same. So now in case 2, we can simplify current value is equal to V by R. Voltage is 220 volts and R value is how much? 22 ohms. So we got 10 amperes. Current in case 2 is 10 amps. So for this question, finding this will carry 1 mark and this will carry 1 mark. Okay, next move to the next question. Consider the given circuit. Okay, this is in circuit. They are asking to get the resistance and current values. Okay, so for this question, let's draw it again. So 3 marks question, so each will carry 1 mark. Okay, so first one, calculate the total resistance of the circuit. Okay, let's change everything to the single resistance. Okay. So for this, if you notice, 4 and 1 are in series and that is parallel with 5. So first diagram I will draw it here. So we have one 5 ohms that is parallel with another 5 ohms. Then we have switch and 10 volts battery. Same again, 5 is in parallel with 2 and 5. So this is P and this is Q. So circuit is like this. Okay, we have R and S here. Let me write it. Okay, so what is 5 parallel? If two resistors are equal or in parallel, then the resultant is simply, which is nothing but half of it. Okay, now this circuit again changes. So I will simply write like this: 2.5. This is R, this is S. Now we have a battery at the bottom, which is 10 volts, and again we have this is Q, and we have 2.5 resistor, and this is P. Now 2.5 and 2.5. Okay, here I'll write 4 and 1 ohms in parallel and 2 and 3 ohms are in series. 4 and 1 ohms in series. Same way, 2 ohms and 3 ohms in series. Okay, in this step what I have done, 5 ohms and 5 ohms in parallel. If they are in parallel, then R equivalent is equal to 1 by 5. 1 by R equivalent equal to 1 by 5 plus 1 by 5, which is equal to 1 by R is equal to 2 by 5. So R is equal to 2.5 ohms. Okay, now at the next step, we have to just, these two are in series. So the total resistance, first answer is how much? 2.5 plus 2.5, because in series you have to just add them, so the resultant is 5 ohms. What about second question? The electric current drawn from battery. Second, electric current. So for this we have to use Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that V is equal to IR. So current is equal to voltage by R. Voltage is 10 and the resistance is, we got 5. So the current drawn is 2 amps. Okay. Third one, potential difference between P and Q. So they are asking potential difference between P and Q. So it is VPQ. So VPQ is again Ohm's law here. Current we already know, which is 2 amperes into R we have to do. Current is 2 amperes. What is R with P and Q? P and Q is here. So P and Q, the resistance is how much? 2.5 amps. So I into 2.5. So this we got 5 volts. 2.5 into 2 is 5. So the potential difference between P and Q is 5 volts. Okay. Next, move to the next question. Study the given figure and answer the following questions. The same. Okay, if you notice here, so here what is happening, the image is getting created before the retina. This is the retina here, and before the retina image is creating. If the image is getting created before the retina, we call the defect as myopia or short-sightedness. Okay, write the name of the eye defect. Eye defect is myopia. Where is the image formed in the eye defect with respect to the retina of the eye? It is forming in front. So this I have written in theory here. The name of the defect is myopia or short-sightedness, where usually the teenage people will get it, and it will be negative power. Where is image formed? Image formed is in front of retina rather than directly on it. Okay, this is A answer. What about B question? List two causes of this eye defect. So two causes for eye defect are, first one, it can be excessive curvature of eye lens. Excessive curvature means the lens become too thick, increasing its converging power. Okay, in the second condition, elongation of eyeball. Eyeball means the eye, if it is, the length is getting increased. Okay, eyeball becomes too long from front to back, so causing retina to further away, so that the reflection will not happen coming on the exact position because it got stretched. And first condition is only lens become too thick to increasing the converging power. So the converging becomes, if it is much faster, instead of falling on the eye, if it is getting closer. So these are the two causes where the converging can become more, or the eyeball can become little lengthy. With the help of ray diagram, show how this defect of vision is corrected. So for this, we have to draw this diagram. We have to say that when the light rays are coming to this, we have to keep concave lens. Concave lens, as I mentioned, the power is negative. Okay, and concave lens are diverging lens. So when the light ray falls on the converging lens, what will happen? Concave lens, what will happen? The light rays will diverge. So if you notice, this rays have been changed to this one, little up. Okay, now these diverging lens will fall on lens, and it will directly converge and keep exactly to fall on retina. So light rays fall from object, will go to here, get diverged with the convex lens, concave lens, and then falls on the lens, which is concave lens of our actual eye, and then it will converge such that it falls focus exactly on the retina. Okay, now let's move to the next question. The variation of image distance with the object distance for a convex lens is given in the following observation table, and let it answer the following questions. So we have convex lens here, and these are the object distances, and these are the image distances. Okay, first one, without calculation find out the focal length of the concave lens and justify your answer. So without calculation they have mentioned. So let's see the table once again. Okay, if you notice the third point, here they are saying that the object distance is exactly equal to the image distance. So this will only happen when the object placed at the 2f. Okay, so simply the distance is 2f considering third scenario. So 2f of focal length is how much? It is 50. So the focal length is 50 by 2, which is 25 centimeters. Second, which one of the observations given in the table is not correct and why? So if you notice, the focal length is how much? 25 centimeters. Where is this? Yeah, focal length we got it as 25 centimeters. So based on that we have to decide. If you notice the last one, 15, it is focal length is less than 15, distance is less than focal length, but still they are saying that the image is created plus sign, which is not possible. Okay, because if the object is placed before the length of focus, then the image creation will be the left side of the same side of the mirror. Okay, scenario 6 is wrong. The justification, the distance or object distance is less than focal length and V cannot be positive as image gets created at the same side of object. Okay, let's move to the next one. For C we have two things. Let's solve one by one. Find out the value of magnification for u is equal to minus 30. Write the nature of the image formed. Give reason for your answer. Okay. U is equal to minus 30. For u is equal to minus 30, they already provided the v value. How much? V is plus 150. So what is magnification formula? For lens, it is v by u. So v is 150, and so we got the answer as minus 50 times. So what is the nature of image? Nature of image is magnified or enlarged and it is inverted. Why? Because it is negative and it is falling. The image is created to the right and the image to the right side, so it is real image. Okay, it is enlarged, inverted and real. Okay, let's move to the next one. The reason we already mentioned, because the magnification is increased, so it is enlarged. Okay. See the next one. Analyze the data given in the table above and draw the labeled diagram for u is equal to minus 30 and v is 150. Okay, so for this let's draw the diagram. So it's a convex lens. Let's draw the diagram first. Okay, this is the principal axis. We have 2f1, f1 to f1, then we have f2 to f2. The distance we know, it is 25, 50, and this is 25, 50. Let's see the condition what they have mentioned. The u is minus 30, v was 150. U is minus 30. Okay, let me draw it smaller because 150 I need to draw. Let me take smaller values. F1 to F1, F2 to F2. Okay, and it is between here. The object is placed here because it is between F1 and 2F1. Okay, so the first one, if it is parallel to the principal axis, what will happen? It will reflect through the focus, which is F2 here. Second, if it is passing through the pole, then it will pass through the same way. Okay, if we draw it proper, it will somewhere like this. Okay, so the image will get created somewhere here. These are not taken exactly scale measurements, then it will definitely get a straight line. Okay, you have to mention this distance is v, which is 150, and this distance is 30. Okay, because it should be closer to f1. It is somewhere here, it should be. Okay, so this is a diagram where the image is getting created here, and this is a virtual image, magnified image, because the size, you can see, it got increased when compared to the object. Okay, magnified and inverted, that's why the h value we got it as negative. Unless the data diagram and draw the diagram. Okay, this is the ray diagram for convex lens. Okay, here if I say AB is object and A, or else let's CD is image. I'll write it here. AB object and CD is image. Okay, let's move to the next question. So 39th question is related to the electricity, that is not electricity, the magnification field, or the magnetic properties we're going to discuss. Okay, let's hear the again A or B. Let's solve the A question first. Write the name and statement of the rule used to determine the direction of first one. Force experienced by straight conductor carrying conductor in uniform magnetic field perpendicular to the field. So this answer we have to use Fleming's left hand rule. So what's the Fleming's left hand rule says? So if index finger represents magnetic field, middle finger represents current, then the thumb finger represents the direction of force. In the write the name and the statement of the rule. So the first one, as I mentioned, the name is Fleming's left hand rule. So what it says is, if three fingers, okay, force when these fingers are perpendicular to each other. So when three index finger, middle finger and index finger are perpendicular to each other, then the index finger, if it represents magnetic field, middle finger represents current, then the thumb finger represents the direction of force when these three fingers are perpendicular to each other. Okay, let's move the B part. Sorry, second of first. Let me change the question. This is 1 here. Okay. Inside 1, this is 1. Okay, now round number 2. Magnetic field produced around a straight conductor carrying electric current. We have to use Maxwell's right hand rule. Or Maxwell's thumb rule. So what it will state? Okay, for this I can also draw a conductor wire here, and if I say this is the curl of the fingers. Okay, so if the direction is like this, then these curls if thumb, right hand thumb, okay, if thumb represents the direction of current then the curl of other fingers represents the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so what is happening here? If thumb represents the correct direction of current, then the curls or the other fingers rotation will represent the direction of magnetic field. Okay, is it clear till here? So let's move to the next question. Okay, let's move to the second of the question. Differentiate between magnetic field due to a bar magnet and the magnetic field due to a current carrying solenoid. Okay, let's write a table so that it will be easy to differentiate. So always for differences type of question, make sure to draw a table so that it will be very easy for an invigilator to like invigilate which points you have written, and those will be very much easier for the calculation part also. Okay, so the first I will write it as bar magnet here. The second I will mention as solenoid. So this is not only, this question is not only for 5 marks because the A part is also there. A in sense, I mean the first one we have already 2, so it definitely 2 or 3 marks weightage will be for this question, and the rest 2 or 3 marks will be for the B part. Okay, so at least write 4 differences, that will be sufficient for this question. Okay, so the first one we'll write it as ABCDs. Okay, not ABCDs. Okay, let me write. Okay, A is fine. So first thing, bar magnet. This is a permanent magnet. This is a permanent magnet. What about solenoid? This is a electromagnet. Electromagnet, I can also say it as temporary magnet. Okay, next points, let's continue. Continuing from previous part, okay, make sure you have a big space in your paper and then you draw it in the same way, because let's not break it into multiple pages. Okay, B point, direction will be constant. Direction is constant. We cannot change the direction of this magnet. Here direction can be changed. With respect to current direction. So the current is opposite, then using Maxwell's law I can say the magnetic field changes. So current in again opposite direction, again the magnetic field changes. Okay, that's about C point. Highest at corners or poles, least at middle. We can see here the magnetic field property is different. At the poles it is highest, whereas at the middle it is less. What about electromagnet? Uniform throughout. Okay, it is uniform with respect to its conditions. So small last one, you can write it as example used for less power conditions. Okay, I can say used for less power appliances or industries used for high power or variable power. Okay, so the 4 points that will be sufficient. Let's move to the last question for this from this paper, which is B part. A part is already solved. A part, if you're I suggest to solve the A part because this is much easier question. You have to just write the theory questions and write the differences. Okay, let's see the B part as well, how it is performing. With the help of diagram, describe an activity in brief to show that the current carrying straight conductor produces a magnetic field around it. Okay, so this is little lengthy, but still, so let's try to solve it. So for this, what you have to take a conductor, keep a cell, take a rectangle kind or plate, and suppose this is current. Okay, for this, take a rectangle sheet and attach a wire and a cell as mentioned in diagram. Okay, so what I have taken, we have taken a sheet, rectangle sheet, and a cell is connected to a wire as shown in the figure. So now take let's write it as first point 1, second point, take few iron fillings and place it on the sheet. Switch on the circuit. So now what will happen? We will notice that iron fillings will arrange circle shapes around the wire. Okay, so the same diagram I will change. If possible, keep two diagrams, one with normal and the second with circle. Okay, so fifth point, this confirms that the current or the wire is showing magnetic properties. Okay, so you can also add another point, sixth point. Use a magnetic compass use a magnetic compass and keep it near to wire. It changes its direction based on position and direction of current. I'm sorry, let's continue. So based on position and the direction of current, it changes. Okay, so let's conclude the A part. Let's move to the second. So what is second question? So here it is saying two straight current conductors A and B are shown in the figure. Mark the direction of magnetic fields around this current conductors A and B. Okay, let's solve first A1. I'm in the row number 1. Or the direction of magnetic field. So first case, you can see that the current is in upward direction. So as per our right hand Maxwell's thumb rule, so if, okay, I'll draw it here. Here I have shorted. Okay, here let's first one. So in case in A, if you use Maxwell's thumb rule, then the thumb will be here and the other fingers are like this. Okay, so this is current direction. So the magnetic field direction will be like this. That is into the paper to the right side and outside the paper from the left side. You can say that, or I can say simply clockwise direction. So here thumb is pointing upward, so other fingers curl into the paper from right side. Or simply I can say clockwise direction. Okay, what about in B? the direction is placed downward. So now the thumb is downward. The rest all fingers are curling to this end. Okay, and this is the wire. Okay, so now we have to see thumb is downward, so fingers are curled to the left side. So magnetic lines goes into the paper from left side, or I can say it is anti-clockwise. Okay. So next, compare the strengths of magnetic field produced at 1 at points P and Q and 2 at points Q and R. Okay, problem number 2, let's solve this. And inside 1 they are asking. So what is the one for P and Q? P and Q, the distance is same but the current is different. Here the distance is same but current is different. B is proportional to I, so this current is high, Q part. B of Q is greater than B of P. Why? As current of Q is greater than current of P, which is 2 amps is greater than 1 amperes. Okay, last one, second, I'll draw it in the next page. Between Q and R, here what about Q and R? If you see the diagram, Q and R, the current is same but the distance is different. Okay, here current is same but distance is different. So if magnetic field is inversely proportional to distance, so B of Q is again greater than B of R. Why? Because the D of Q is less than D of R, where Q is 2 and other is 4 centimeters. Is 2 meters is less than 4 meters. Okay, so in this way all the questions of physics question paper have been solved with options. Okay, so you are watched till the end. Thank you so much for watching. So I will see till the video, like how many views I'm getting for next 2 or 3 days. So based on it, I'll try to start with chemistry or biology solution. If you want the solution, kindly mention in the comment section. I'll definitely check and answer to it, because biology and chemistry I can say most are theoretical, but if you still want the solution, I'll mention in the comment section. I'll definitely check and create a separate videos on physics and chemistry, biology and chemistry. Or else my plan is to start another maths paper, or else I'll start with the maths starting chapters, that is or real numbers kind of thing. And let's start with 2027 board exam preparation, who I just recently completed our 9th exam. Okay, and before May again I will prepare again other videos on the preparation before wanting to write another betterment exam. Okay, so mostly next video we will start with maths real numbers chapter. Okay, so thanks for watching. Let's meet again mostly tomorrow at the same time, which is 12 p.m. Thank you.